Hey up Woodlanders, welcome to Woodlog number 19. And how are you this morning? And I woke up this morning at 5 o'clock. Being awake at 5 o'clock has its advantages and disadvantages. I get to sit and think about all what I want to do today. But for some reason, I just feel really motivated today. Driven, motivated, focused. I've got a whole ruck of stuff I want to try and get done. Come on, let's just crack on and get something sorted. So another job today is I've got to weave a couple of thin panels. That's them 6 foot long ones that are really thin. Got to get ready for a job tomorrow. I'm just sneaking about to see what kind of damage the Muntjac are doing. And as of yet, I can't see any damage on these stools. Normally what they do is they chomp off this bit here, like that, chomp it off, leaves a severed mark there. But at the moment I can't see anything. Oh, there it is, look. There, that's it. So they're about, which is rather disappointing. I knew they would be, but here we go again. There we go, look, let's munch that one off. You try your best, keep your little babies growing. Determined to make me bankrupt by eating off all of the hazel. Doesn't look like they've been in this one. I just popped up to this area that we coppice, so underneath all this nettle regrowth and all this hogweed stuff. And muntjac deer don't tend to like edges because they don't like exposure. They much prefer being in that lot in there rather than being in this open area around here. But you'll remember when I cut this a couple of 3 months ago that I left a lot of the brashy twiggy stuff on the ground, and some people recommend putting brash piles on hazel stalls. The idea being to do that you would keep off the muntjac deer. And I've got mixed feelings about that. If you imagine we put a pile up, let's say a foot high of sticks, so that the shoots were protected. These shoots try and wiggle their way through the brash. What you end up is all this early growth here. The bottom foot is basically useless because it's all bent and curly. Now, maybe there is a market for that, but I don't explore that particular market. So what I did, I just left the brash as it was, twiggy bits everywhere, look, and I'm just kind of hoping it deters the muntjac from wandering through. And at the moment I've not spotted any damage in this bit, but I'll keep you updated on that experiment to see whether having twigs on the ground has helped to keep the muntjac away from eating this area of the hazel. Look how much it grows. Cleaver, look, this is cleaver, bobby button, sticky willy. And we've got bramble regrowth and we've got some nettles coming up. And thankfully after the weekend this place has dried up enormously. I cannot believe how wet it was last week. Copper beech, look, that's absolutely stunning. One of my favourite trees. It might not do much up here, it's not the best of grounds, and the squirrels love beech trees. Anyway, I got distracted. I know it is gooey up here and your feet sink in, but my feet aren't underwater, which is a good sign. All this water means my new little trees, plenty of moisture. Go on, sniff it, you know you want to. At the bottom of our lane was this road closed sign, and this has been there, oh, it was about 3 or 4 years ago when the track up to our woodland got so bad that the council eventually decided put road closure signs on it, try and stop the lorries from keep coming up and falling in the ditch. Well, as you can see, the sign was buried. It had got run over by one lorry as it was trying to gain access to get up the lane, and then I think what happened is the flail tractor mower ran over it as well. Thought, I'm going to rescue that, I'm going to straighten it up, and I'm going to put it back where it belongs. Anyway, that's why I've picked up a road close sign. I'm not into collecting road signs. It is a bit of a mangled mess though, I must admit. I'm not sure what I can do with that. You'll be pleased to know with that bit of wind and dry weekend, The charcoal dragon has dried out. I mean, it is a little bit sticky in there, but I reckon we might be able to do something with that. Got our 2 little panels, 3 foot 18 inches. We're all sorted with the panels. We're all loaded up for tomorrow. I've just been down to check on aspects of the woodland at the bottom end, and it just shows you what you can find down there. So I found a fox's, that's a badger's set. What do you call a den that foxes live in? Fox's den? Maybe that's it. Fox's den. I just found a fox's den down the bottom end with 2 young foxes playing out in the long grass. They saw me and hunkered down the grass. The bigger one of the 2 ran off. The smaller one thought I couldn't see it. So I managed to snap a little bit of a video of that. I actually got a video of the other one, but I forgot to press record. I don't watch that booby trap, good grief. It's took about 3 years off my life. It's time for tea. I'll see you in the morning. We've got installation day tomorrow. We're hoping for a double bill installation again, which will be great if I can pull it off. So I can take it to that and let it push in the post. Adjust your neck a minute. I'm sorry about yesterday, it was a bit of an abrupt finish. Lost myself and I actually realised I never said ta-ra, so it's a ta-ra from yesterday and a hello for today. This morning was a gardening job, so we've done that, knocked that one off, and this afternoon I've just got some little odds and ends to do at the Woodland. 2 panels to load up. Can you believe it's the 3rd week in May and we're still burning firewood? Don't cast a cloud till May's out. That's this May tree, that's what they call it. Hawthorn May tree. It smells amazing. I've been informed that hawthorn, the smell that comes off it is some word beginning with T, and it stands for death. It's the same smell that comes off a dead corpse, which made me smile, because it's like, why do I like the smell of death? Because I've smelt death before. The smell of death is absolutely rancid. It makes my stomach churn. It's disgusting smell, repulsive, and yet I never found that with. So there you go. But apparently this smell is supposed to attract flies because of it being like a corpse kind of smell. Of course, that's going to help it to get pollinated. So that's rather amazing, I think. Stop talking. The way this year's panning out is definitely different to anything I've known before. We're now 3rd week in May nearly, and this year I think I've cut around about between 700 and 800 bean poles, and I think I've still got a good 500 left. Now that is very, very unusual. I always sell out of every single bean pole, but I've got 500 left. Now that is a lot of money sitting there that I've cut and spent time in the winter and extracted and bought at the Woodland. That's the sort of money that helps me to sort of recoup what I lose in the winter by just keep cutting and cutting and cutting. And of course we've not sold them. I'm sort of looking for maybe alternative markets which will recoup what I've lost from the bean poles. Long story short, it's a very different year. I've almost sold out of my hazel rods, which is excellent. So I've got another order coming, which is great. Also what I've done is kept a documentation of how many square foot of hazel hurdles I've made, and I'll be able to check on last year, because I did the same, on whether we've done more hurdles this year, less, or about the same. I'll let you know on that when I find out. But my next job this afternoon is I want to do my mulching, which is just simply using branch loggins around the base of my little hazel trees. That's all then mulched, which is a good job done. So that pile's gone, and then that pile's gone, and then the big behemoth over there, I'm about a quarter of the way into that. But hopefully it will give these a chance just to survive if we do have any drought. I've looked down a few of the shelters and, well, that one's alright, look, you see a leaf. A couple of the shelters I've looked down and not doing ever so well down there. That one doesn't look like it's up to much. Got a sweet chestnut there, look. So I've just mulched that one. We've got a little oak tree there, look. There's all these self-set ash seedlings about as well, you notice all this lot. And if they come to anything, great, but honestly, most of them will suffer from their ash dieback. You sort of learn to acclimatise to the fact that the ash trees are dying. When you first heard about it, it was like you just couldn't stop thinking about it, what we're going to do and what a shame and all the rest of it. But now, sadly, you just become acclimatised to the fact that you don't get attached to these things, because inevitably they're just going to die. So next job tomorrow is one of those fluid ones again. I'm meant to be rotavating, but it's all dependent on the weather again. We've had such a nice dry few days, so I'll bring you along for that, all being well. I'll see you tomorrow, whatever the day brings. An early sprint up the woods this morning. I've got to empty the trailer of my strimmer and a few other bits to make room for the rotavator, because the rotavating job is on today, finally. They forecast a light shower about lunchtime, but I'm hoping to get the rotavating done by then. I've got this nervous excitement that the rotavator is going to work fine. I have every confidence in it, but because it is an old machine and because I've took it apart, I have this nervousness that 20 minutes in it's going to bust it. Oh man, I am dead. Just about got it rotavated and just about got it levelled before the rain started again. The weatherman has lied to me again, but ideally it wants firming, raking again, grass seeding. But I'm not sure whether the weather's going to let me. The job has turned into a much bigger project than I initially quoted for, which I am not best pleased about. I've had to move granite flower bed tubs, a metre square, which weighed about, they've got to have been 300 kilos each, and then 2 tonnes of soil in the middle of the lawn, which you saw this morning. That wasn't on the price either. This might turn into a bit of a rant. I feel like I've been taken advantage of again, which is not a nice feeling. I'm just a bit of a soft touch, that's my trouble. Such is life. Good morning. A little Saturday morning postscript. I didn't actually get a chance last night to do my end of video, see you later, thanks for watching styley. So all in yesterday, the job went okay. It blasted with rain, we managed to get the grass seed on, we managed to give it another good rake and get loads more stone out of it and loads more thatch from the old grass. And we boshed even more seed on it after that. And I think we're all right. The little old rotavator, for saying how hard the ground was, which it was like concrete in places, the little old BCS 330 did a superb job. And the only thing we found was that the PTO nut, which I don't see that there, and one on the other side, because it was so bouncy, those wobbled loose, but I managed to spot it way before it became an issue, and just tying up the bolts. And we did all right. I think I did all in all about 7 passes. I just managed to pick up a little bit more junk from the side of the road. There's no excuse. I have no justification. It was the next door neighbour throwing it out. Been sat there for 4 days and nobody picked it up, and I thought, you know what? There's got to be something in there that I can use one day. So let's get this unloaded. I'm going to put some stakes in, ready for a job next week. Put the charcoal in. The oak trees are coming out, look at that stunner. Absolutely awesome. I love the green. I mean, contrast the blue there, look, with the green there. Oh, it's just amazing. Love it. It's like new life all over again. It happens every year, but I never stop getting excited about it. But look at it. What a stunning, stunning day. Thanks again for watching this week, guys. I also appreciate Budo and Tracy from the French Farmhouse Diaries. I mentioned them last week. They mentioned me in a video last night. Oh, good grief. We have had a ridiculous response. That has just been insane. Well, I think we've had 200 new subscribers in about 12 hours, which for me, I mean, that took me months and months. Honest, I can't. So if you're new and if you've joined us from French Farmhouse Diaries, thanks ever so much. I don't know how long you'll stick around with us, because whether it's your particular bag, these videos, but I just want to say we really appreciate that. That's done me a world of good. It's boosted me from, like, yesterday where I was bobbling along at 50%, today where I'm back up to 100%. Now I know that's only a temporary thing because it's only numbers, but welcome aboard. I hope you like what we do. If you've not looked at anything we've done before, it's mainly about woodland work, particularly coppice and woodland craft, and very occasionally we do the odd weird video about home DIY, or even a little bit about mechanical things like this jalopy behind me. So please stick around and I'll see you on the next video. And if you're able to, please look after your area and your particular corner of the planet. Do what you can to look after the wildlife, and I'll see you on the next woodlog. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in a bit.